Hey everyone, John here from Frugal Student Garden again. Now today, it's a bit of a gross day today. As you can probably tell by the grey skies, it's been kind of raining most of the day. There's a little bit of blue skies showing up now, but I couldn't quite get everything I wanted done today, so I've decided instead that I need to get some more worms again for my worm farm. I used to have a worm farm, but when we got our chickens, I sort of ran out of food to be able to feed the worms, because it all sort of went to the chooks. So ended up just letting the worms out into our compost bin, and they've since disappeared to wherever else in the garden. So I'm currently wanting to build up the worm farm again because I want to start being able to use a bit more worm tea in a few of my projects. So I'm on the hunt for some worms at the moment. You can buy the worms from a few shops. They are available online for 30 odd bucks or something like that for a couple of hundred worms. But I've decided I'm going to see if I can find any around the garden and see if we can breed up the numbers and get them going that way. Okay, so obviously places where worms like to be is where there's likely to be food. So compost bins are usually a fairly good spot to find worms, or like piles of manure, things like that. But for some reason I've just had a look through our compost bin, and I've had a bit of a dig through there, and the worms seem to be not there at the moment. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I would have thought there'd be a few worms in there. This is our finished bin. So that's all the finished compost, and I even had a bit of a look through the bin that's only half done. I'm wondering if I haven't quite got my greens and browns mixture quite right, and the worms aren't really liking it very much, but whatever it is anyway, they're not hanging out there, so I've had to look elsewhere. So in this area here, this is our orchard, and we have got mulch on the ground. So if you have a look down here, if you just sort of have a rummage through the mulch, you can find worms. There's one there. So all I'm going to do is pick him up and put him in this bucket here. I've put a little bit of mulch in here for him to live on. So I'm just going to go around and have a bit of a scratch around. Basically anywhere I find a worm, we'll put him in the bin. And I'm probably not going to be able to find another one while I'm filming. That'll be just my luck. Today's probably not the best day for worm farming actually, because it's quite cold. But I'm not really a worm expert, so I don't really know. Oh, there's one there. You can see him wriggling around there, just a little baby one. Have I got him? Yep, there he is. Little worm there. So into the bucket. So that's two so far. Only about 1 million to go. So basically these worms that we want, like there's several different types of worms. Actually there's a lot of, more than several. We want composting worms, and that's why we're looking through decaying material like this. Compost worms live on the surface, whereas earthworms live sort of deeper down in the soils. But we want the composting ones, so they're likely to be living in this decaying material. Oh, there's another one. Oh no, it's not. Sorry. I'm sure we'll find a few around. But yeah, we'll see how we go. If I find any more big ones, I'll film it and show you. Anyway, stay tuned. Check out that one. That's a big fatty. He's sort of killed himself up though, because it's pretty cold today. So yeah, they're all looking a bit sleepy. But you'll go nicely in there, buddy. And with the others. Now to start with, I'm probably going to put them into a different container. This is just a bucket that I've got for now, just a little yogurt container. I'll put them in a smaller container just to see if I can get their numbers to build up, and just feed them a little bit each every couple of days and wait till they can start reproducing a bit before I put them in a bigger area. At least that's my theory anyway. I'm not an expert at this by any means, but we're gonna trial it anyway and see how we go. It's quite funny this actually. I kind of feel like a little kid again, digging through the dirt, hunting for worms. Just the only difference is I'm not actually looking for them to eat this time around. There's one there, look at that, there's another one. Two of them there. So I'll put that fella in there. And this fella here can go too. Isn't just a little one. I'm actually quite impressed with the way that this actually looks now. This is after a year of breaking down, this sawdusty mulch is just like really beautiful looking compost. It's blooming brilliant. I think all up we paid, it cost us a bit of money, but we basically got a big truck come and delivered this mulch. It was about $40 a cubic meter or something like that, but it was cheaper if you bought it in a big truckload, so we bought like 7 or 8 cubic meters. Oh, there we go, there's another one. Here's a white one, but you'll go nicely in there, buddy. Not quite sure why it's a whiter colour than the others. Look at it. Into the bucket. Now some of you might be thinking this is a bit gross, but worms are perfectly natural and they're actually really good for your soil, so don't be afraid of them. They can't hurt you. They've got very small mouths, they're almost microscopic, so they definitely can't bite you or anything. The only thing I would suggest is probably if you are a little bit squeamish on them, maybe wear some gloves. But oh shoot, cat! Oh, the cat just gave me a massive fright. He's in one of his moods. Holy crap. Oh well. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, you might want to either wear some gloves, or you know, you're definitely going to want to wash your hands at the end of it all, because rummaging around in the dirt like this and then going and eating something may not necessarily be the best for your health. But I'm not a doctor, so you know, everyone, each to their own, I suppose. Oh, there's one. Look at that. Where's he gone? There he is. Probably got about 20 or so now. I'll keep going. I'm trying to get to 50 odd. Okay, so it's now a few days later. I managed to find about 30 or 40 odd worms, something like that. So it's not really enough for me to do any decent amount of worm composting with. But I'm hoping I'll be able to build up the numbers in a little bit of time. I've read somewhere that worms can lay around an egg or so a week, and each egg can contain anywhere from about 2 to about 7 worms or something along those lines. So the numbers should hopefully build up relatively quickly. But in the meantime, I need to build them a better home. The bucket that I had isn't going to be big enough, and it's not really going to work out. I probably will end up buying some worms anyway for my bigger worm farm, just because I really want to speed up the process. But I thought I'd just see if I could actually breed these numbers up to a reasonable amount and just see how it goes. So what I've got here, what we've got here is I've just got a couple of ice cream containers. So this one here, I've drilled a whole lot of holes in the bottom of it. That's to allow for drainage, because as the worms decompose the stuff, like, they produce liquid and that needs to drain out. And then we have this other, this here is coconut coir, coconut peat kind of stuff bedding. I had this lying around, but you could use, this is just for the worms to live in, so, but you could use just regular old compost or horse manure or something like that. Works pretty well too, I'm told. And anyway, so this is the other part of the bed that I'm going to make just for my little temporary breeding situation. So that is the bottom tray to catch all the juice that comes out. And then I've just got this other ice cream container which I've just cut down like that. And that's going to just pretty much sit in there like that. And that just keeps the rest of it, which goes there, keeps it up off the bottom so the little worms don't drown. It allows the water to pool in under there, and every day or so, or every couple of days, I can come along and just drain that out. And you can use the liquid that comes out on, you can use that on your garden. It's a really good fertilizer, and yeah, it really gets your plants are rocking along. So anyway, we'll carry on here. So what I've got here is I've sort of moistened this up a bit. It's not really moist enough, probably needs a bit more, so I'll just add a bit of water. You don't want it too wet, it doesn't need to be absolutely swimming with water, but it just needs to be able to be like, squeeze it in it. It shouldn't be running with water, you should just get little drips out when you squeeze it. So I'm going to mix this up a bit more and then we'll come back. Okay, so there you go, that's all mixed up nicely now. It's a nice consistency, it's wet but not too wet. You know, squeeze it, it doesn't let any juice out, but it sort of holds together, so that's pretty good consistency. So if you're using compost or other things like that, then you would want it about the same. So I've just transferred it into there. Yeah, worms do need moisture, but you can drown them. So now let's get the rest of them, the worms in there. It's pretty easy. So here we go, I've got the other worms. Worms like to be covered up, so I've put this cardboard over them that keeps the light out. They don't like light very much. And in here I've got some other leaves and things as well. And there's just a bit of old cabbage leaves that I've added in there, hopefully to give them a bit of food. So yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to eat that much, because there's only, like I said, about 30 worms or something, 30-40 worms. But we'll empty this out into here like this. See, there we go, we've got a few worms still there. In fact, I might not add all of this. I might, because that's going to fill it up very quickly. You see, those worms will go in there, they'll find somewhere to lie down. Not lie down, they'll bury their way in there and make themselves at their new home. Go downwards, you. Anyway, I'm not going to transfer all of that stuff in there. I'll put some of these leaves and things in, and I'll just fish through the bin and get as many worms into here as I can. Okay, so there we go, I've tipped that out. Now all these worms are trying to crawl away. Come here. They're actually really hard to pick up. Here we go, here's one. As you can see, I've managed to get a fair few of them. I don't really want them all crawling away. It's actually a bit harder than I thought it was going to be. Come here, you. If I get them to crawl up onto a leaf. There he is. Got him. Now if we just rummage through here a bit, there should be a few more than that. There's a baby one. Oh, there's a big one there. Oh, come here. They're looking happy enough. Alright, so there we have it. The worms are all transferred. Managed to get them all out of there, I'm pretty sure. I did find quite a few little babies, which is quite good to see. They'll grow up to be nice strong little worms. But if we have a look through here, you'll be able to see there's a few of them. Yeah, there's a nice big fat fella there, look at him. Nice big healthy one. So yeah, looks like that's going to work pretty well, hopefully. I will need to eventually build a bigger setup than this. This isn't really going to do the trick for too long, but at the moment it's better to have like a flat system than a bucket type thing. I think this will get a better airflow and it'll allow for drainage with the holes in the bottom, which I didn't have in the other setup. So now, as long as we keep the worms nice and fed, they should hopefully not crawl out, but just in case, we're going to cover them up anyway, because the worms really don't like light. We'll put these this damp cardboard over. They will eventually eat the cardboard. Oh look, there's one that's escaping. Come back here. Oh, where are you going? They're really hard to pick up, because they like to crawl down cracks and things. Let's flick him out of there. Deck's probably not the best place to be doing this. And this is really hard to do with filming and everything. There we go, got him. You go back in there, buddy. Under the cardboard you go. So there we have it. Worm farm build. Throw a few leaves in there too. And this will just sit on top. Just like that. And every day I'll just let the cover off and check on them. And yeah, hopefully the holes in the bottom should allow any moisture to drain out. And we'll be good to go. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that. Give it a big thumbs up if you did, share it around, and I'll keep you guys posted with any progress on the worm farm in the next few weeks or so. Anyway, cheers for that guys, we'll see you later.